Okay, good morning class. Everybody stand up and let us pray. Miss Manlemos, kindly lead a prayer. Okay, good morning once again. You may now take your seat. So yesterday we began discussing about the concept of OBE and the three guiding principles of OBE. So who can recall what is OBE? Yes, Mr. Buscagan? That's right. In short, OBE is a constructively aligned curriculum, and William Spady is considered as the father of OBE. Now, what are those three guiding principles of OBE? Who can recall? Yes, Ms. Diazes? That's right. The performers should be students, performable, and performance-based. So, since you already know about that, let's proceed to the next topic. So, we have here the principle of OBE. So, these are the intended learning outcome for this topic. And now, the four principles of OBE are clarity of focus, designing backwards, expanded opportunities, and high expectation. So, when we say clarity of focus, everything teachers do must be clear, focused on what they want students to know, understand, and be able to do. So, it is integrated in the topic and the ILO part of the learning program. Next is the designing backward. Designing backward, this is where teachers are able to identify the barriers or students who have difficulties to understand, or in short, knowing the learning status of the student. It is integrated in the activities part of the learning program, as well as the expanded opportunities, where teachers deploy different teaching strategies for students who have not acquired enough knowledge and give them more time. Then the last but not the least is the high expectation. In this, teachers will think for remedial classes or reinforcement for those students who can do the task. So this high expectation is integrated in the assessment part of the learning program. So we have here an example of a learning program with the integration of those four principles of OBE. So in the ILO, so the topic is crochet. So in the ILO, we have here, at the end of the session, the students will be able to first explain and identify what is crochet and its basic stitches and necessary crochet tools and materials. Next is demonstrate basic crochet stitches by following the right steps. And last is perform and create a crocheted round coaster applying the basic crochet stitches and tools. In the performance standards, we have three performance standards for each ILO. We have comprehensive. In the first ILO, we have comprehensive, clarity, error-free enumeration of tools and materials. Then for the second ILO, we have accuracy of stitch, proper application of tools and materials, and follow the steps accordingly. Then for the last ILO, we have here the accuracy of stitch, neatness, and the appropriate application of basic stitches and tools. Now, let's proceed with the activities. In the first ILO, the activities are lecture, discussion, and oral questioning. For the second and third ILO, the activities are board demonstration. So, the learning resources that will be used in this are real objects, handouts, web, PowerPoint presentation, and video presentation. So in the assessment, in the first ILO, we have here oral or written quizzes. In the second ILO, we have practicum and hands-on. And for the third ILO, we have the practicum and project. So before that, who have any idea what do you mean by performance standard? Anyone? So, performance standard is the indicator for teachers to identify what has been achieved by the students. So, remember that. Now, As what I have said earlier, that the clarity of focus is integrated in the ILO part and the topic part of the learning program. So we can see that the ILO and the topic are both clear and focused on what teachers want their students to know, understand, and be able to do. For the designing backwards and expanded opportunities which are integrated in the activities, we have here this lecture, discussion, etc. in which through these activities, the teachers are able to identify the barriers and the students who have difficulties to understand. Now, the last principle, which is the high expectation, it is integrated in the assessment. Now, in this assessment, we have here the oral, quizzes, practical, hands-on, and project. So through this, the teachers can think for a remedial classes or reinforcement if the students are not able to do these tasks. So that's all, and let's proceed with a quiz. Now, in this, you can finish this within 15 minutes. You may start answering now. Okay, pass your papers to the front. Thank you. Now, for your assignment and as your activity as well, you have to create an effective learning program with the integration of those 4 principles of OBE. In your activity, you are free to choose what subject or topic you are going to choose. And be sure that for your ILO, you have there 3 ILOs with 3 performance standards for each ILO. Is that understood? Okay, so that's all for today. Stand up and you may now go home. Bye class, see you next meeting.